This is the best deck in all of Standard, rocking a 60.0% win rate over 50,000 games, and yet, I know that all 50,000 of you have net decked it, copy pasted, without actually taking the time to think about if we can make it any better or not. And the most obvious way I know this is that in the mana base, there are two forests, right? Whereas it is a strict upgrade with no downside, at least to include one Hushwood Verge instead, which comes in making green like a forest, or can also make white, and likely the second copy is also a strict upgrade, although there could be some arguments against that. So because of this, I already know that all 50,000 people are just net decking it and copy pasting it without actually thinking if they can make it better or not, which is just fine. But that opens up, the can of worms that, okay, if nobody's actually thinking about this list, what would be the best version of rabbits and what would it look like in today's meta? So the most interesting question is actually, is Shelter by Ghost still a 4 of include today, right? In the previous mono red dominant meta, absolutely no questions asked. This is the highest win rate card you could ever have against mono red, and mono red was like very much 25 to 30 to 30+% of the meta. So this is a freebie. But with mono red essentially annihilated off of the ban list, I think it is worth reopening the question. And there are actually two very similar rabbit lists running around with identical win rates. So this exact list right here, minus my Verge change, has 18,000 games at a 60.0% win rate. And then there's a very similar list that is running 0 shelters and instead running 2 additional knight errants and 2 sanguine evangelists in there, and that one also has an identical win rate. So just looking at some average data, we actually can't tell which one would be better or why. So I think the next question is, if we look at the meta breakdown, how good is Shelter by Ghost against the most played decks in Standard? And the answer is that out of the 10 most played decks in Standard, the first most played is Mono Black Midrange at a 7% of the meta. And Shelter by Ghost is actually the worst card you can have in the deck versus that particular opponent, according to the data. It makes sense, like maybe you get some tempo early, but eventually they have enough mana to either cut down through the ward 2 or go for the ward 2, and then it's a 2-for-1 because they use one spell and they both kill your creature, and also you lose the Shelter by Ghost, and they get their creature back, which maybe has an ETB or not, probably not in Mono Black. So it's actually is the worst card you can possibly have in that matchup. It is also the worst card you could possibly have against Azorius Control, which is like the 8th most played deck at like, I think 4% or so. In general, this deck really struggles against Azorius Control. I mean, any deck that runs like Temporary Lockdown or Sunfall or Day of Judgment is just gonna rock this deck. So Shelter by Ghost makes it even worse, but you're off to a rough matchup against that anyway. However, versus the other 8 most played decks in Standard, Shelter by Ghost is actually the best deck you could, the best card you could actually include in the deck. It has the highest win rate in terms of, things you can draw and play. And so the rest of the meta shakes out to be the Mirror, 7% Rabbits, Mono Green Landfall, 6%, Mono White Life Gain, 6%, 4-color Dinosaurs Reanimator, 5%, Is It Prowess, 4.5%, and actually Mono Red Aggro at 4%. So against every other deck out of these like top 8 or top 10 or so, Shelter by Ghost is still extremely good and the card you most want in the deck. So in my opinion, I think I'm still going to keep it, but I think it's worth re-evaluating because it's no longer as obvious as it used to be, and certainly the meta could shift, so I think it's worth evaluating. The other card I want to talk about is Season of the Burrow. Like, I've always talked about this card. I think everyone has net decked exactly one copy of this into this deck for some arbitrary reason since the dawn of time. Like, I don't think anyone has really taken the time to critically think about it or like look at the data. They're just like, it's a rabbity card, it's a mythic rare, it is very powerful, thus exactly one copy happens to be the optimal amount. Like, I don't think people really say that. I think they just kind of throw that in, right? So if we actually look at the data, it's sometimes tricky to evaluate cards like this because if you use untapped.gg, which is what I use to evaluate stats, you can very clearly see the in-hand win rate. What is the percent chance of winning a game if this card is in your hand? And the answer is that it's abysmal, but that's not really a fair evaluation because for the vast majority of any given game, if this card is in your hand, it is a dead card because you don't have 5 lands to cast it, because this is kind of more of an aggro deck anyway. And there's no ramp, right? There is the scry ability off the quest caller to help you hit lands or avoid lands, but there is no ramp. So like, for the vast majority of every single game, if this card is in your hand, it is contributing towards a loss or a lower win rate because you can't cast it. But that's not necessarily fair because it's only one of, and if you draw it late, I think maybe the better question to evaluate it is if you do ever cast it, does your win rate skyrocket, right? Because, for instance, Omniscience, if you ever resolve it, you have like an 80 or 90% chance to win that game. So if you cast this very powerful card for 5 mana, which is clogging your hands the entire game, does it actually significantly skyrocket your win rate? And the answer is still no. It's still one of the, if the not lowest win rates attached to a card you can have in this deck, even when you are able to cast it. So again, it's not like a perfect evaluation because you could still make the argument like, Well, we're kind of an aggro deck, and so if the game has gone on long enough that we have the mana to cast it, that's maybe not a game where we're going to win anyway, right? You could trail that line of thought. But if we're not seeing like ridiculous win rates attached to this very expensive card and our kind of more aggro deck with 12 1-drops, I'm just really not sold on it, and I never have been. So I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to put in one copy of the Sanguine Evangelist, which I think is a very good card. It is one of the best overall win rate cards you can have in the deck. And I'm usually a big fan of the Knight Errant, but I'm still kind of on this deck building phase right now where it seems like Best of 1 Standard is pretty fast, pretty combo-y, and actually taking the turn off to tap out to get more creatures, I don't know is always going to be the right call for us. In the mirror, it's probably pretty decent, right? If we're doing rabbits and we Knight Errant first, and we get another Paw Patch Recruit and like a Might Caller, we're pretty happy about that. But against a lot of the combo decks, the Soul Cauldron deck I played yesterday, what other, Dinosaur Reanimator combo stuff, I don't actually know that we need to be taking the turn off, even though I've loved this card for a long time. So yeah, here we go. We're going to jump into ranked Mythic Standard. I think I'm like rank 60 or so currently. And see if we can't get some wins with the best deck in Best of 1 Standard. Second best deck is Mono Red Goblin, so let me know if you want to see that one as well. Okay, into the comment section. Snoop Doggy Dog. Damn, how did that guy get that username? There's gotta be some fierce competition for that. It's double white, no green with hop to it. Feels like a mulligan. Too bad we don't have our Hushwood Verge land, right? Yeah, we just can't keep this though. Goodbye, okay. Mana's looking good. We definitely keep this. The Evangelist and hop to it. I'm not actually sure. Feels pretty strong in different ways. I guess this pumps up the Mentor slightly more if we keep the hop to it. I think we're gonna put back the hop to it here. That's fine. We got plenty of creatures. We're gonna be fine. It's mono white life gain, so we're happy to have included Shelter by Ghosts. We definitely may need it here. Just gonna try to get the board big for the Mentor. I would say I slightly regret putting back hop to it now, because we're gonna need a big Mentor to get through some of Johnny-shaped things. Well, we got it anyway. Okay. Do you think they're gonna trade here? I kind of don't think they are. I think they want their lifelink, so I think we actually get to attack for free. Yeah, I think that's a free attack on our side. Actually, probably could have named Graviteer to avoid the painline damage. Okay, one lander, lots of life gain, but no payoff yet. Yeah, we want this guy attacking next turn, right? We do want to keep them off of Leyline of Hope if we can. Drops up to 20. They're trying to get up to 27. Finally hit their second land. There's actually Orzhov. Alright, their first payoff arrives. It's a 3-2. Attack with the Vanguard. I guess we don't have to block. The Channeler will be big. Channeler is going to be a 5-4. We could probably take this block. We can actually probably also trade with one of these guys. We have the hop to it to scale the Mentor anyway. This is fine. We go to 26, but not 27. Another Mentor. Okay, I think we could drop the Mentor here. I don't know if they would trade or not. Maybe I don't want to trade, actually. Let's try this. think we want to block the Hawk. So they could block and they could block and put all 3 counters on the Hawk and have a healer, you know, a 4/4 lifelink. All right. Okay. Good chunk of life there. Desperately need that shelter by Ghost here. They do get in there. This guy Vigilance too? Yeah. Okay. I guess no blocks. It also is holding back the Hawk, which is nice. Down to 8. We are running out of time. It's a shelter off the top. Never didn't have it. Okay. You could be what, Rabbit? Thank you very much. You can also come out before combat. I think pretty much everyone's happy to get in there here. Give him heck. That was a huge top deck. Very happy to have included the 4 elves. Opponent eats it all, drops to 9. We go up to 16. With double trample mentors on the way. I feel like it's too much for them to escape. I will add another reason to not include the, whatever the 5-mana Burrow Mythic Rare I was talking about, it's called, is that it is 1 fewer card you can hit off the Knight Errant, and it's already pretty painful to whiff off the Knight Errant via lands and Shelter. If you're going to include Shelter in addition to the lands, that already makes Knight Errant less potent, and every single non-creature you add after that is making it even worse. So they actually can Shelter our Shelter here? And then they can get 3 life and scale it up pretty big, but we still have a decent attacking force. That's quite nice. Feels like that's about going to be game. So they block, block, block. I mean, that's got to be about game here, I think. I think it's very squarely the attack all button. Can also use the Oak Hollow Village to put a counter on the Quest Caller by the end of this turn. But I don't think there's too much left to this game. Okay. Can't really complain about the top deck there. There's a reason it's included, but we definitely got lucky in the 9th hour. Is that the right phrase? The 9th hour? 11th hour? Probably 11th hour before midnight, right? Okay, up we go. Theotrek. I don't know what this coming is. Hale G9 says, playing VV without VV. I'm pretty sure I played tons of VV. We're on the draw. This is okay. Good name, Rabbit. Aha, cruel. We can still name Rabbit here. Hello. Let's save all the paw patches for turn 3. Does that mean you have no lands? Or you have too many lands? How many lands you got? You got at least 2. You got 7? Alright, taps out. Let's see if we can hit Delirium. Land goes up to 3, so we can't block with that guy, but... no good attacks into the 2/3. This would be yet another decent Shelter game for us. I did lose to this deck somewhat recently, and I did not anticipate the instant speed 2-mana Overprotect on the defensive. I attacked with like a big sheltered creature. I had like a 7/7 or something. And the Overprotect actually was able to block and get back, I think, 2 creatures off of double shelters on my side. I am still experiencing PTSD from that. Opponent is going ham on the play, though. And we have no good blocks unless you really want to double block. Which we could do. I mean, we're taking so much damage here, right? Could sacrifice Phineas? I mean, I think we have to be defensive here. I don't think shutting off double combat steps is that bad. The other option is if we don't do this, we can't really attack on the way back successfully either, though, into the Wicker Folk. That's too bad. We don't know if they're going to attack twice with the Wicker Folk or not. I feel like they left it back to defend. Can't even attack with the... Okay, well, this is tough. Probably need to scry our way into a... into like a shelter or something big. Nope, next land isn't it. Probably holding back here, offering more traits. We get the double recruit next turn, so we keep the quest caller. Actually not bad in terms of blocking power. Another hasty 4/3. Ow. Gosh. I don't really want to give the quest caller, right? We're almost dead here, though. Take 7. If they have the pump spell, I think we just give it to them. I don't think we're trading the quest caller away. Yeah, they have shock or pump spell or whatever. It's okay. I don't think you're going to win that by giving up the quest caller. I think you have to take the recruit, you know, get a pair of bigger blockers, take the double scry, try to get one more turn out of it. But that was a very quick delirium. They were extremely quick to hit delirium, which is not always the case. So there have been a couple comments about why I was not playing Geralf in the VV deck yesterday, both in best of 1 and best of 3. The answer is, that deck is not very good. That is a combo deck to make cool YouTube videos, but its performance is very low. So this is the more professional version, but it's kind of closer to what... I always forget his initials. 1 second. We're on the draw with Might Caller and Recruits. If we get one more land, we're okay. We only have green. Verge could open up white, though. Yeah, we're on the draw. I think we can keep this. We need a land to make it all work. It's not an abysmal keep. We only have green off the bat. PVDDR. Ran VV Cauldron at the Pro Tour. Did okay. No white source. All right. Turn 1, Might Caller against the Chocobo. Double Chocobo. Land. Oh, double land per turn, too. Alright. A pair of 2/3/1/1s. A pair of 2/3/1 drops, rather. Ow. It's not a land. It's still playable here, though. The world has not ended yet. But we're about out of time on the draw. We could offer some double blocks here. In theory. If we hit white land, go hop to it. Or any basic. Which I guess is the plans. Yeah, they hit the next land. It's a basic. They have a pair of 3/4s. I don't know how much hexproof indestructible shenanigans they would run. Looks like they're about to fight my frog anyway. Second bushwhack. I guess in theory we just want one giant creature. So let's see if we can't scale up this guy eventually. We can also offer the trade. Are they going to fight again? They're going to fight again. They eat the other Might Caller now, I think. Attack with just you. I think it's no blocks. We could give her the Might Caller. Our life gets so much better if we hit a white source here, right? Triple hop to it. Oh, let's go. So we just want to scale the Might Caller out of range. We could probably afford a Knight Errant here. It is a 4/4. I think it's worth it. We're not, like, totally dead. Alright. Cool. Sure. I mean, Quest Caller is massive. That's almost enough to win the game. I think now, if we can survive this turn or so, we're looking to survive the Tifa combo. You know, like a 2020 trample is the next issue, but... Alright, that's actually relevant too. Alright, game goes on for sure. That is a non-trivial top deck. They don't have land, though, which is interesting. I think it's going to be Quest Caller plus, like, another Knight Errant here, basically. Land. 8/8 is chunky. We could hit one more green source before combat, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, let's take the most impactful stuff. Fine by me. If they want to take trades, I mean, we have a huge attacking force at this point, and it's only getting bigger off the quest bar. Opponent drops to 8 here. We only have 2 blockers back. Nobody's got trample. They only have 3 mana. We're at 15. Okay, another baby chocobo. I don't know what that card does. Something about landfalls. 3 or more +1 counters on it. Sack this creature. Okay, so it'll be a 4/5. They get a crap ton of landfall triggers, which is interesting. But I feel like we basically have lethal here if we don't... Oh, holy shit. That's exactly 15. We only have to block 1. Nobody's got trample. So we definitely just chump block this. And then they go, what? I mean, that one is trample anyway. They go like block, block, take 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we have lethal any which way here. No mana open, no tricks, I don't think. We take 7. Go Quest Caller, plus whatever else is going to be game here. Sure, doesn't matter from here. Alright, that is more than sufficient firepower. 2 arms, brothers. Final Band is kind of a nasty name. Not in like a bad way, like a interesting way. But Joer Moss says, I feel like I'm actually learning a lot from the best of 3 to best of 1 adaptation parts. Great job. Thanks. I have fun with it. Today we're not doing it, I guess. I just felt like it was time to call out the best deck in Standard. I thought I already did a video on it, honestly, but I guess not. I looked at my most recent ones. So, feels like it's the time to do it. Also felt like worth addressing, you know, the small little tweaks that I think people are net decking, like the mana base could be made slightly better. I don't think you need the 5 mana sorcery Mythic rare. I think Shelter is good, but I think it's worth evaluating and reevaluating as time goes on. On the draw, Hushwood Verge showing up, looking very nice here. Hand looks great to me. Go Paw Patch into Quest Caller and just get all the scries we need to hit whatever we need. It's mono black Cecil, so potentially mono black Aggro. Opening green here to start. Please do not net deck the forest. Having double white could be very relevant in this game. Deep Cavern Bat. You think they take the Quest Caller here? Or I guess they could take the Shelter. What is our best path to victory? If we play Phineas and then something else, we could stack some counters on it, is okay. In general, Quest Caller is almost always the right call. Okay, we hit the next land. That's cool. Yeah, it feels like Quest Caller is almost always the right call, right? We could trade with the recruit with the Cecil. It's fine, I guess. Some 1-for-1 removal. They might trade and drop the next one, I think is my guess. But it's okay. Demon Wall. They have 3/3, okay. We only get one of these. Looks like we can't attack with the... Actually, you'd be a what? You'd be a 3/3 off the quest caller. Still not a good attack into the Demon Wall. We could pump it the turn after with the War Leader. So maybe it's worth getting Phineas down early. I think anything other than a land here is acceptable. It's also pretty good against mono black in general. Next time we go War Leader, attack, and attacking creatures get +1/+1. And that gets Phineas through, and then we get the Phineas trigger, is what I'm planning to do here. We actually have reach, which I might have forgotten about. I think I'm down to take this block. I think that was just a mistake. We'll see if they have a, you know, a -2/-2 sweeper or something. No, I think just a mistake. Alright. This could be Rabbit. Yeah, we could Shelter here. I mean, they're very tight on mana, right? And then War Leader next turn. Then we don't have to throw away the Phineas. Don't need more land. Who wants to wield the Shelter? Probably the Mentor. It's gonna be the least likely to die in combat, right? I think we wait one more turn. I think we can get away with one more turn. They're also tight on land. They might just miss their land drop. Yeah, not really a game on their side. Demon Wall, showing up in Best of 1 Standard. Very interesting. I haven't tried it outside of that terrible Jund deck. I actually had a really bad day in the arena. I think there was some deck that did well at some tournament. It was like Jund with like Demon Wall and like 1 Annex, not even 4 Annex and 4 Demon Walls. I just had a miserable time with it. I don't remember much other than being like very unenthusiastic about that day of Magic. Another comment. It might even be the same guy. Curious why you don't run Jisa/Geralt in the VV deck. And someone else responded, A, Ross, and Bio. Way more situational, takes more time to set up. However, it could work as a one-of every now and then, but building the entire deck around it is just too narrow. This deck is much better because it has a backup plan with Eidetic Memory and Thrill Seeker that make it competitive without the graveyard play, unlike Geralt combo. Yep, couldn't have said it better myself. We're on the draw. Looks great here. Good. Good mana. Good everything. On the mulligan to 6, I believe. Aha. A Man of Shelter by Ghosts, I see. Well, here we go. We might just get clowned by them. If they go turn 2, like, Shelter, Ward 4, like, we'll see, we'll see. Double Shelter, triple Shelter. Feather of Flight. Yeah, I mean, this will be interesting. They also took a pretty aggressive mulligan, right? Where do all the cards in their hand go? Alright, Rabbit Town. Yeah, we could go Mentor here, and then Quest Caller Paw Patch next turn, I guess. Normally I would reverse the order. I think we hit a bit harder this way. I guess you could also go Recruit. Eh, I don't know. Maybe Mentor. Maybe Quest Caller is always the right 2-drop. Maybe you never don't play Quest Caller. Just the Scry is too valuable to miss out on a single turn of that. Pain Land on green. It is Shelter coming through. Alright. Okay. Alright. They have a 3/1 flyer. They're pretty much out of gas, though. I think we can afford to play the Recruit for 1. Given that we're going to have lots of Scries. Like, the War Leader can make a 1/1 if we want. So we kind of have as many Scries as we want. Ooh, okay. Yeah, great, right? We can take their Shelter, at least, and, like, slow down the race, I guess. What does that do? You unlock this door, put a +1 counter on each of its 2 target creatures. Okay. I don't know if we need to Shelter this turn. I think we could just War Lead here instead. Make everyone a little bit bigger on the attack. It's not very efficient use of mana to play Shelter this turn. Knight Errant seems decent on top for sure. Can either make an extra 2/2. That adds 2 damage, or we can add 3 damage. But we keep the 1/1. I'm gonna make the rabbit. Gives us more Convoke power for Knight Errant. Make the trade, okay. Sure. Yeah. So we want to attack with at least one thing this turn. Alright, they're about out of gas. What's this do? Create a 1/1 Glimmer? Oh my gosh, what does that do? Put +1 counter. Okay. We're up to 6, actually. But we're about to get a big lifelink swing, which is what matters the most. So we just want it on the biggest creature. We want to take their Shelter. We can actually take their Feather of Flight, which is interesting as well. We're going to race them pretty well, right? They're done? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, either way is probably fine. Another one? Yeah, that's okay. I don't know. I feel like I just want more stuff to play here. We don't have lethal, do we? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's close, dude. It's close. We'll win next turn. It's okay. We want a 2-drop to play here if we can. We'll take Phineas and then maybe the Evangelist or something. Also has Reach for the record. No more land is needed. Okay. Swing for 6, and we'll just get +1. We'll just get us as far as lethal range as possible. Hopefully that's enough to live. Yeah, that should about be it, I think. This can level up to make another 1/1, but I don't think that's enough to come back from here. The Phineas attack, +1 on every rabbit, plus the War Leader, +1 on every rabbit. Plus we have the 8/8 trample, which scales up to like a 10/10 or 11/11. Trample off the Evangelist. Maybe a 12/12. I don't know. It's a lot of damage. Okay, very successful so far. We've gone from like 75 Mythic to top 50, I think, in like 30 minutes or something like that. 33 minutes. Best of one's fast, man. Very different pace from best of 3. Antho, New York City, we're on the play. Mana's good-ish. Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. I'll save the paw patch for later. White's on 1. So this card, by the way, if you haven't noticed this before, you have to have the token down before you enter combat. If you generate a token as a result of combat, you do not get the extra ability there. Jeez, I think we're gonna just play the Warren Guard and nothing else here. I don't think I want to Shelter the Authority of the Consuls. I mean, I guess we hope if they do run Authority, maybe they don't run Lockdown. But, I mean, it's going to be one of the worst matchups for us in general. So prepare yourself. I'm not anticipating good things out of this. They could have a, one is for combat for a number of reasons. They could have, Ride's End, which would target. And also we now have a token, which will pump the Warren Guard. So, has to be done before combat. It's artifacts. All right. Well, that's a little more interesting. I mean, we're ready for a synth. I think I like our odds way better. I think we'll just these guys. Yeah, we'll just take the damage while we can. I think I like our odds way better than versus Zori's Control. They may or may not run sweepers, but it's not going to be 4. It's not going to be 6 at least. Like, we don't know. 1-for-1 removal, again, is pretty good for us versus rabbit stuff. Okay. Unfortunately, it seems like we're going to take the snare here and hope they don't have another one. Have any bounce stuff? No. Maybe we'd put it on the smaller one here. Okay, down to 12. I mean, we've survived so far. The paw patch doubled up was big. If they sweep, we just lose. If they take a turn off the synth, we're actually kind of close to just getting there. If they collected company, whatever that is, could probably win on the spot. Very dependent on what happens here. There's the synth. They're tapping out for it. So we drop them super low. And then we see if we can get there or not. A non-land off the top would be huge. We have 10 damage this coming turn. We're going to drop it to 2. Play a creature. Authority brings them up 1 to 3. Everything can present lethal still. So I think the worst case scenario is they can, like... Ooh, not bad. Not bad at all, I would say. Pre-combat, just for 4. They go up a life, but everyone gets +1 here. So I think that's going to be lethal, yeah? Exacxies. Nice top deck. I'm not going to lie, my top decks today have been on point. Those of you who I know are conspiracy theorists, I want you to know, and I'm going to say this, and I want this on record. I have a guy who works at MTGA Arena, and he carefully curates my draws every single game. I want you to know that. And I want it on record. And Wizard of the Coast pays him a lot. They pay him a lot of money, and he sits there. And every time I hop on, he's on call, kind of. Every time I log on, he gets a notification on his phone. He has to wake up anytime, day or night, and he has to monitor my games so that YouTubers can do better, so we can produce videos so you guys play the game. I want you guys to know that that is the truth. We're on the play. Yeah, looks great. Every hand looks great. His name is Chad. Chad is my boy on the inside. So Chad cooked up this beautiful little hand here. You know, it's not good enough to be suspicious, but it's good enough to just, you know, it's good enough to be good. He's got to strike that balance. Duress. All right, you actually found a target. Ain't too many targets on our side. Big color. I think it's the Phineas here. Whatever we play next probably dies, right? But if it doesn't die, it's not so bad. Here we go. In theory, an okay matchup for us. In theory, we should outproduce their 1-for-1 removal. Alright, they take Ghosts again here, but we do get an attack with the Phineas, which is kind of excellent. Ooh, that's beautiful too. We actually don't have enough green to do it all. A little bit less beautiful than I thought. You want to go for long-term scaling or short-term scaling? Token or rabbit. Okay, let's get the rabbit value then. Can't go on the frog, yeah? Token or rabbit. Okay, yeah, we'll just do it this way. Paw Patch. Yeah, it gets in there too. Obviously, we get the +1 counter. That is some Chonkarino right there. Ghost Vacuum. Not the right matchup for you. Eat a sec, a creature. Probably just the recruit, I guess. Keep scaling up everyone else. Yeah, that makes sense. if they attack into the archer. There's a little bit of whiff on our side. Definitely coming to before combat. Okay. Give him heck. We'll have 8 power. We need to get to 10 to draw a card. Goes vacuum, popping off here. Down to 6. We'll play the land. We got nothing better to do. We could get Liliana discarded. Alright, decent blocker. Only 1 mana open. So how does the attack do here? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we get the card draw if we attack with Phineas, which is pretty good. Which means we're attacking with everything here, I think. I think I want that card draw. Unless they have cut down. It's not bad, it's not bad. Might save it for our next turn. Now they're over it. You know, maybe we wait for them to tap out and then take a key blocker. If you do it now, they can blow it out if they go for the throat. Goodness gracious, I don't even know what our record is today. Feels like we lost once early on. Maybe the second game we lost early on. I don't think I've lost since. Maybe. This deck is relentless. Unfortunately, I don't have untapped.gg stats because this is like an old work computer and it won't let me download it. Whereas my regular PC, my non-hotel setup, I can track that, but I don't have an easy way. I have to go back and count all the games, which I might do because I'm kind of interested. Feels like we're crushing it today. We're on the draw. Looks great. Thank you, Chad. It's the mirror, but they're running a little bit of extra life gain. All right, that's interesting. I think we'll still get it moving here. Basic forest. Opponent has net decked it. No blocks. They're on the play. Ow. We will also take a quest caller. Do we attack into this board state? Would we want to trade? I guess in theory, yes. As the defender, I think we would want to. I think we'd want to try to trade. They could go another quest caller like us, and then we get out of trade range. But you could also shelter away your quest caller. You're at the mercy of the draw. Shelter. It's a tail swipe. Okay. Left over with a 4/3 though. We would trade with the quest caller. They gave it to us. Yeah, this card's so much value, right? Done? Done deal? You got an indestructible thing? Oh my gosh. Elspeth Smite. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's not the ideal outcome, but it's okay. You can be green, and the quest caller comes down. And then we get some scries off the hop to it. We're not dead yet. We're certainly not dead yet. The quest caller scry could absolutely get us moving in the right direction here. I guess we only get one scry off the hop to it, yeah? I think it's enter at the same time. What does that do? Plus X plus X and vigilance, X the number of creatures. So +2/+2 in vigilance. No blocks again. We take 4. We want to keep the quest caller around. We're very close to outscaling them just with a might caller alone. Alright, creature tokens you control get +1. They do get the quest caller scry. It's too bad we could not strip them out from that. Okay. I can still be rapid here. This is big. The next hop to it seems pretty good given our current state, so we'll keep that. I don't know if we play out the recruit here, actually. We might not attack either. Just hold the 5/5 back. Yeah, it only gets better from here, basically. Not sure about the recruit. think I want as much value out of our cards as we can get. That's a big boy as well. So far, we're making bigger boys, though. One bottom is what I like to see. It's kind of like whoever shelters first here. Alright, let's go again. Nope. We have an 8-8. I still don't think we're attacking. It still only gets even better from here, right? Hold on. It's a little bit of top deck war. I mean, whoever gets the first banker first. The first shelter, the first knight errant. Okay, they also have an 8-8 now. So we could sack the village at some point here. 2 mana to do that whole stuff. Not yet, but it is an option. Don't need to do it this turn, though. Yep, it's good. I mean, at what point can we start reducing? So we attack with a Might Caller here. Could potentially shrink their board a lot. We have to deal with their 8-8, though. I think we don't want to do it till next turn, basically. We have a backup blocker. We want to keep our density of creatures high. So do they. But maybe if we mentor next turn, we can block their mentor. Alright, an 11-11. Keeping pace, equivalent pace here. One's at the bottom. It's actually pretty good as well. I was thinking we might attack this turn. If we clear out 3 of these, the mentor drops to an 8-8, and we're still left with the 13. I just don't want to be in a position where they can attack us easily. And we're forced to block. I think as soon as we block... The thing is, they don't have to block. They have so much left to play with. As soon as we block... I don't think we're going to village this turn, right? We already have a good top deck on top. Top 6. Yeah, it's okay. Nope. So do we want to trade a Might Caller for 4 3/3s? It would actually be a big reduction in their force. We still have a 15-15 to block with. This might be the first time to attack here. Could also attack with the Mentor. That'd be 5 3/3s. No, I want this one to block. I think we offer this. They might just take it. They have plenty of life to play with. Down to 17 is not bad, because we have the Evangelist attack next turn. So we're going to have to math that out a bit. Land. They power up the Prairie right here. They attack all button. Okay. Yeah, that gets all of them +1. That's pretty nasty. Okay, well, I don't know if we survive here or not. Can certainly try. Okay, let's do some blocking. This has 3 power. Block like this. Nobody's got first strike. Evangelist. We might want to keep for next turn if we could win. What else is an advantageous block? If we can afford it, like, this is okay. And the question is, can we find lethal, actually, on the crackback? So currently they have... Oh, that's a lot of fucking damage. That's a lot of fucking damage. We might not be able to double block stuff at all. That's 8, 12, 15. Do we just need one more block? Evangelist pumps everyone pretty big. So it's probably like... We're not going to have any tokens left in theory. So this is now 4, 8, 11. Drop to 1, right? Does anyone else have trample I'm forgetting about? I think everyone's blocked here. They're at 17. I think it's 11 drop to 1. We keep the quest caller, we keep the mentor, we keep the recruit, we keep the evangelist. We attack with the evangelist. Oh, we have the mic caller too. If we're alive here, I think we win. We didn't miss anything, right? Block, block. Your face, you're 4, 8, 11. I think we're good to go. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. I think we 11 drop to 1. Unless they have a 1-mana instant to pump something up by 1. That'd be super annoying. This is a matter of MTG Arena versus real life. I think we drop to 1. Okay. Swing for lethal. Thank you. Alright. Very nice. Whew. Okay. This seems like a good note to end on as any. I think we went from 75 to 42 Mythic. I think we only lost one game out of like 10 or 11 or 12. This is, in fact, the best deck in Standard. According to the data, right, we have 50,000 games. Very statistically significant. Mono red aggro, mono red goblins is in second place. I think it only has like 8,000 games though, so it's still working on data, but seems like it could be very good. If you're gonna net deck it, like at least make the mana better. I think in at least one game, the Verge was actually relevant. Like it sounds like a silly, I mean it's an obvious change, but you just stop net decking stuff so obviously. The Verge is good, and then yeah, I was pretty happy taking out the Season of Burrow. Instead we had the Evangelist basically. It's just more consistent. Like it's gonna look better on paper because you know, your percent win rate of having this card in hand sucks because you can never cast it, whereas this one you can actually cast. But I still think this is probably the better choice for this kind of more low to the ground aggro deck and go wide deck. And then, yeah, Shelter was good. Obviously, in the matchups we needed it, it came through. I would still keep it in today's meta. We'll keep evaluating it as it goes. So that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, you can like and subscribe and leave a comment. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.